The United States hosts the most powerful diasporas in the world. The U.S. views diaspora communities as an extremely important resource for the development of the country, says USAID Deputy Assistant Administrator Yacoubian.
Diasporas bring experience, they bring expertise, they bring passion, and they bring resources.
The key to the success of diasporas in America is freedom, universally respected in the United States. The community can freely raise its demands and criticize the U.S. government without fear of being suppressed, notes independent expert Armen Kharazyan, who has worked in the Armenian diaspora organizations.
It is inconceivable that the United States government would ever exercise any pressure, exert any pressure on the community to change its positions on issues that it has been advocating for.
According to Bryan Ardouny, Executive Director of the Armenian Assembly of America, democratic instruments allow diaspora organizations in the United States to let their voices be heard.
It's a democracy, so it often only takes a small group of people to have a significant change.
Unlike the United States, the role of diasporas in the societies of authoritarian states is significantly low. Experts argue that, furthermore, states like Russia attempt to use diasporas as a tool to influence their historical homeland.
Using the community to make sure that the Armenians or the Armenian government do not engage in any activity that, in their view, would present a challenge to Russia's interests or policies.
In the same way, Moscow attempts to use the communities of other former members of the Soviet Union, notes Manuel Orozco, a senior fellow at the Inter-American Dialogue.
To Russia, this may be a political tool to influence certain trends. And it was obviously the case in Moldova. Russia has been very influential of in foreign policy towards Moldova because of its presence and the role of a large migration flow. It's also been very influential in Georgia.
In 2008.
Still today, Russia is very influential in what goes on in Georgia because of the large influx of migrants, of Georgians in Russia.
At the same time, experts have observed that while Moscow uses diasporas in Russia as a tool to influence newly independent states and attempts to restrict the activities of national communities inside Russia, the Russian government is always ready to breach the sovereignty of its neighbors under the false pretenses of protecting the Russian-speaking population in these countries. Arman, Tarjimanyan, VOA News, Washington.